So what's your program like? Exercise or food habits? Or so what would I be paying for, I guess, is what I'm asking. Thanks. I got you. And thank you so much for asking. If you got any questions throughout this, definitely let me know. So what do you actually get when you work with me as your online personal trainer and nutrition coach? As you can see, I got asked this question the other day, and I thought it would be super helpful to explain because it's a super valid question. And since I really don't talk about my coaching business at all, I figured now was as good a time as any. So let's start at the beginning of the whole process. I always start out first by sending you in basically a giant intake questionnaire form that goes over sending me movement screening, goes over your health history, all sorts of different information that helps me better understand your history, what you're approaching coaching with, what you really need help with, your goals, and everything in between. So with that movement screening, the reason I have you go through that and with the exercises I have you go through is so it gives me a much more thorough idea of how you actually move, your body mechanics, and your understanding of different exercises. That way we can both make sure that the exercises you're getting are actually catered towards you and meeting you where you're at, rather than me just assuming that you can do all these things that you're just not ready for yet. So that's basically the whole onboarding process. Then after I receive all that information, then I can get to work on your workout program. Speaking of your workout program, I use a custom app called WeStrive where I put in all of my Body Revolution branding. So that's basically our custom fitness and nutrition workout app. In that app, you're going to have videos demonstrating how to do all the exercises that I'm going to give you. We're going to do habit tracking, meaning we're going to look at your steps. We're going to look at your sleep pattern. We're going to look at your stress levels. We're going to look at all sorts of different things through that app. Just makes it extra nice and clean to have it all more concise in one place. Another piece I want to make sure I don't forget to mention is if you have questions throughout any different exercise, you're not sure exactly how to go through it, the biggest thing I tell to all of my clients is to record yourself doing that movement, send it to me so I can give you direct form feedback in the form of another video back to you so you can see exactly how to improve it so I can meet you right where you're at. This takes away a lot of the confusion and drastically reduces the risk of injury. Your workout program is always specific and individualized to you. Your needs, your goals, the way you move, everything you actually need, your time availability, whether or not you're working out from home, at the gym, wherever you're going to be, I have to take all that into consideration when building out your specific program. So let's say you're a beginner, you have very little experience, I'm not going to give you something I would give to one of my more intermediate or advanced clients because it wouldn't make sense for you. We have to build a different type of foundation. And with everybody, the biggest thing that I stress is building a solid foundation. Because if I don't set you up with foundational tools, foundational skills, and habits, then I'm basically setting you up for failure because your foundation is built on sand, and that makes no sense. Longevity is the key, and that's my ultimate goal. On top of that, every 4 to 6 weeks, it depends on the person, I develop a deload week, but I like to term it as more of a challenge week because at the end of that full week, I give you your challenge workout. Now, the challenge workout for every single person is going to differ because obviously your goals are different, your needs are different, your capabilities are different. But all the challenge workout is the way for you to see progress in areas that don't involve your weight, your fat loss, any of those metrics. It shows you how you're improving your strength, your capability, your endurance, your stamina, all those things that are actually going to make a huge difference throughout your workout program and your training. On top of your challenge week being a great opportunity to really feel it out and push yourself, it allows us both to realize where you can actually overload and go beyond what you think you're used to and apply progressive overload to get you stronger and get you more capable. Now, when it comes to nutrition, I don't give out meal plans because I don't believe that meal plans work for everybody. Instead, the approach that I take is I give you nutrition education. I work with you to figure out what your needs are, what you actually need help with nutritionally, how we're going to go about developing a meal menu together so that you can actually take that and run with it either for yourself or your family, but you have a much more thorough understanding of how to apply nutrition to your life. On top of that, I also give you your macronutrient goals for your protein, your fiber, your carbs and fats, but we mostly focus on your protein, fiber, and calories together and talk about that and ways to improve that. Now, I will plug my wife a little bit. She works with me in the business and she's a registered dietitian, so we talk about her services as well if they're needed, but they're only offered on specific individual basis. The most important piece to me, though, when it comes to nutrition is meeting you where you're at. If you're overcoming food addiction, if you're overcoming things that involve you having a very disproportionate relationship with food, we work a lot on that. Because coming from the place that I did, I know exactly what it feels like to go through those hurdles, to go through those struggles. So I try to incorporate that into my business to make sure that everyone's getting a completely individualized approach to everything they need. With that said, I also focus a lot on mindset, how you treat yourself, how you talk to yourself, how you view yourself. Because if by the end of your journey, if by 6 months later, a year later, you still don't have a better relationship with yourself, you're not going to see your goals as anything more than just like, yippee, I made it. I want to make sure that this is something sustainable that you can do, and by the end of all this, throughout our training, you become the most confident and happiest person you can be. And I don't mean just putting on a front. I mean actually living that life. But the last thing about my training is I actually focus a lot on community. Yes, all of my coaching is focused as one-on-one, but I think deep down we all want some kind of aspect of community. We all want to be held accountable by not only a coach like me, but by other people that are going through similar struggles and working through this together. So with that said, I have a community platform where we meet up once every other week as a full group. We talk about questions, we meet up, we go through everything that we need to. I have regular live calls in there to make sure we're working on your mindset as a group, but also just one-on-one in that aspect, going over Q&As, going over meal hunts to help us all figure out different ways to incorporate different types of nutrition into our life. But again, also just to give you that sense of feeling like you belong somewhere. Because as cool as it is to say that you made it, there's nothing better than the feeling of saying you made it alongside other people that are also working on that with you, or at least side by side. So essentially, you basically got me in your back pocket around the clock, except for late in the evenings or on Sundays. I like to take those days off or those times off for me and my family. But regardless, you'll typically hear from me within 24 hours. So that's my business in a nutshell, Body Revolution. Thank you so much for sticking around for this whole thing, because this was a very long video. Holy crap. But if you got any questions, you want to hear about something more specifically, definitely let me know. Never hesitate to ask. But remember to stay active, eat mindfully, think positive thoughts, and let's get after it.